Let's just get nice and comfortable. I like to keep it real, and typically that may be very uncomfortable for a lot of people, including myself, but growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, welcome, and if not, then welcome back. So I have my little doggy here, my little stuffed doggy that looks like my Charlie bear. So I decided to buy him because I thought he was so cute, but I have him right here specifically right now because we're going to talk about some uncomfortable things, and I need a little bit of a squeeze and some comfort next to me. I'm a real person here, okay? I'm a real friend. If you want me to tell you how it is, I will. But I'm also that way with myself, and I expect people to be that way with me too. And I don't want no sugarcoating. I don't like sugarcoating things for friends either. But as you can see, I have titled this video, I don't have my life together at 25. And that's okay. And so I wanted to talk about this topic a little bit because it is something that I am currently living in right this moment. I turned 25 last month, and life is starting to get a little bit real now, okay? I mean, it technically has been because I moved out for the first time ever. I never ever in my life would have thought that I would be living alone ever. I want to say about in August of this year, and that was a very uncomfortable thing for me, but I did it. I'm alive, I'm breathing, I'm healthy. So I feel like that's kind of like the same concept with being 25. We're halfway to 30. You're living in your mid-20s. So a lot of people tend to feel a lot of pressure around this time to have their life figured out. And what do they want to do with their life? What do they have to show up for? And as for me, I feel like nothing. I feel unsuccessful. I feel like a failure. I feel, I guess, insecure in my life at this point, because when I thought of 25-year-old me, I would have thought that I would either be married, I would have a house, I would have a successful career, and possibly even be living my dream life. And I have none of those. I can't help to want more, and maybe that's just human nature. Maybe we just always want more, and it's easy to be hard on yourself, and I feel like I'm living in that right now. I'm hard on myself. I think of myself as someone who has not accomplished much in life, and honestly that is far from the truth, because success can come in many, many ways. It doesn't always look like money or careers or owning a home or something like that. I feel like success can look different for everyone. And I just have to be a little bit more positive and kind of come back to that side of me, because I am a very positive person. I will take a negative situation and turn it into a positive one, and people will just be like, how did you do that? You know, not to toot my own horn, but I do give myself credit for that. And that's something that I am very proud that I can say I do, is look at a negative situation and turn it into a positive. Except now it's all about where I am at. I guess my toxic trait is the fact that when I feel like I don't have control in this moment of a situation, I tend to completely break down and shut down. I stop taking care of the things that I love. I stop putting effort into something that I want to grow, for example, my YouTube. And I don't know, that's something that I can tell that I struggle with, and something that I'm currently working on now, to take all that sadness and disappointment of myself and turn it into something good, instead of just dwelling on these feelings and dwelling on the fact of I'm not making $80,000 a year, or I don't have a career, I don't own a luxury car, you know, I live in an apartment alone. My boyfriend and I were living together, and then I moved away to live on my own apart from him. We're not married. Like, I feel like life is just going backwards for me, you know? But I can't continue to do that to myself, because of course there's gonna be setbacks in life, but I firmly believe when I'm not in my like sadness and dwelling in all these negative thoughts, I firmly believe that setbacks will literally plunge you and pivot you a lot further, and setbacks are for a reason. If you know me, you know that I'm very close to my faith and I'm very spiritual and believe that things happen for us, not to us. So I have been taking a lot of time lately to just reassess my life a little bit and why I am living in this moment. What is the purpose of this moment? What is the purpose of all these setbacks that I've been having? And I think I have a lot of growing to do, and that's kind of something that was hard to come to terms with, because I like to know that I know best, but isn't that all of us, right? I feel like some of us just know that we know best, or we know why things are happening, but in reality I don't. And I feel like I'm living in a moment where I am just fully surrendering to the process, to the journey, and not overthinking everything and not allowing myself to sit in those intrusive thoughts for too long. I give myself a few days if I need to. That's already pushing it, and just think about why I'm not where I'm supposed to be. And then I tell myself, okay, what are we gonna do moving forward? Because I don't like sitting in this feeling, and I don't want to sit in this feeling. I feel like it is very unproductive. What am I gonna do from now on? So I just wanted to talk about this a little bit and what I have been doing that has been helping me tremendously to pivot from this point forward, and how to take care of a future situation similar to the one that I'm dealing with right now. Because let me tell you, if I am sitting in the same place that I am now when I'm 30, I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't. But I don't have to. I don't have to be the same place that I'm at now when I'm 30. I have control over my life. Whoa! I have control over my life. And I feel like sometimes people feel like they don't have control over their lives and that their lives control them. And that is further from the truth. I used to be a yes girl all day long. Yes to this, yes to that. My energy levels just started to decrease by every single yes that I would say, when in reality I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have said yes to that. I shouldn't have agreed to that. I feel like this year has been the year for me of so many breakthroughs, because I love people. I love my friends, and I tend to put others first. Way more than I ever would put myself first. And I feel like life just told me, you know what? All right, you want to be a yes girl? I'll give you a yes girl life. And that was not a life that I would like to live again. I had to take control over my life. If I didn't want to continue having that toxic friendship that continues draining me day in and day out, I have to know that it's okay for me to distance myself. I had to learn that it's okay to not always want to be there for that person. How about myself, you know? And that's something that I had to learn, is how to be my own friend, because it is just so wild to me how much we can be there for others, but we tend to ignore ourselves, and we tend to put ourselves on the back burner, and then we end up just getting drained, and we end up getting burnt out, because we're not an all-in-one machine. We can't be there for others and situations in our life if we don't have ourselves together. So some things that I have been doing lately that have really been helping me is, remove myself from social media a little bit. I love talking to people. I love communicating with people, but I just felt like Instagram started to feel a little overwhelming for me. And that's the thing. I love fashion. I love following people that are doing great, because it can be motivating and inspiring, if you will. But I started to notice that I started to be like, damn, that girl is like 5 years younger than me and she has her whole life together, and I'm 25 and I live alone. And that's basically all I can say that has been a major change in my life lately, is that I live alone. But I was like, you know what, that's still change. I live alone. I never would have thought that I would be living alone. I never would have thought that I would be in this mental state or be this mentally and emotionally mature, if you will, and healed. And that's the thing, is that I feel like Healing is always going to be an ongoing process in life, and there's never an end goal to healing. But there is a way for you to have a perspective on life and be able to see a different perspective in certain situations and not always treat them like it's the end of the world, and just be confident in the fact that you have control over your life. Everyone's life is different, and not only that, but not everybody knows what they're doing with their life. Typically people don't really share their struggles and behind the scenes, because everyone has a behind the scenes, you know? And maybe it does look like they know what they're doing in their life currently, but maybe back then they were struggling so much and they were going through something that you would have never imagined. So that's something that I do have to remind myself, is that not everyone's life is going to look the same, and that is okay. Just because your life doesn't look like your neighbor's doesn't mean that you are doing something wrong, because you are on this path for a reason. You are where you're meant to be right in this moment, and that is okay. And a part of that process is trusting that where you are in this moment is where you're supposed to be for a reason. Maybe you have some lessons to learn. Maybe you need to learn a little bit more about yourself. Maybe you have to put yourself first. Maybe you have to start that YouTube channel that you are so scared to start, but just do it. You know, there's always a lesson to be learned if you are in a place in your life that you aren't happy with. Maybe you just need to learn that you are in control and you have to take action. Something that I have been learning a lot this year is setting boundaries. Knowing how long is okay for me to dwell in my feelings, because I don't like sitting in those feelings. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't make me feel sexy. It doesn't make me feel accomplished. It doesn't make me feel successful. And that's okay. It's okay to have that day where you just feel in a funk, but it is not okay to let yourself dwell in that feeling for too long, because you'll just continue digging and digging and digging a deeper hole for yourself. So have boundaries. Cry about it for a day or two, and then let's get to work. What are we gonna do to be better? What are you going to do tomorrow in order to feel better about yourself? Whether it's getting up, doing some self-care, making yourself a delicious meal, whatever it is that is going to make you feel better, you need to do it, because that is going to propel you to doing what you're supposed to be doing, to start putting effort into something that you want to do in your life. You have to trust your capabilities to accomplish your goals. You have to trust that the effort, the little efforts that you're putting into a goal that you have, a business, into building something, you have to trust that your efforts are going somewhere. If you don't see it right in front of you, if you don't see your efforts reaping reward right in that moment as you're putting in effort, just believe that energy that you're putting out and that effort that you're putting into something, continue to do that. And this is honestly a little pep talk for myself too, but just believe that your efforts and that energy that you're putting towards something is going somewhere, even if it's not visible in the moment. Just believe it's gonna go somewhere, and eventually it has to produce something. Eventually, maybe not today, not tomorrow, not next month, but maybe a year from now. Anything can happen a month from now. Imagine what could happen in a year from now if you really stayed consistent to something that you want so bad. I guess that's somewhat of a comforting feeling that not everyone has it figured out. And this isn't for the people that do have it figured out. This is not for them. This is for us, for the people that don't have it figured out. And we don't know where we're gonna go. We don't know what our life is gonna look like a year from now, and it's scary. I'm here to tell you that it is okay, but I'm also here to tell you that we need to get to work. I have had to really learn, and it's still something that I'm going through right now, to not submit to people's idea of what your life should look like. And I know that is very hard, because a lot of times it's family. They suggest you should go to school and be a doctor. You should go to school and be a lawyer. You should go to school and do this and do that. Maybe your father wants you to take over the family business, but you're just not passionate about it. Don't let your dreams and your passions pass you by, because I firmly believe that everyone has the same ability to reach their goals. Maybe not everyone has the same resources, but as human beings, when we want something, we can get it. We are able to get it. We will find a way. Whatever it is that they want your life to look like, just know that a lot of times it's simply because they probably wanted more for themselves and they're trying to project that onto you, and they believe that they don't have the ability in their current situation to change their life around. Maybe it's because they've been working an office job for years and they don't believe that they can change their path anymore, but that is far from the truth, and that all ties into you are in control of your life. Don't allow other people's ideas of what your life should look like and dictate what you want to do with your life, because it's not up to them, it's up to you. It's up to you to find out if you're ever going to reach that dream life, because we don't know. Only God, the universe knows. Whatever it is that you believe in, only God knows what your life is going to look like in the future. And believe in your dreams. Believe in the goals and big crazy dreams that you have, and believe that they are possible. Even though they may seem so far reached, they probably are, but they are possible. Don't doubt yourself. A lot of this has to do with trusting yourself and trusting your life path and trusting that you are going to be guided to where you are meant to be in this lifetime. Count your blessings. Look at where you are in your life now and truly look back, and I guarantee you there's at least one thing that you have achieved. I might not have a luxury car or have a home or be married, but I do know that I'm living alone in my own apartment. I have my own space. My partner and I are extremely happy. We're probably the happiest that we've ever been in our relationship. I am surrounded by amazing, supportive women. My mental health is at its peak, if you will. I feel healed. I feel good. I'm looking at life from such a different perspective that is actually aiding in my process of what I want to do moving forward. My mindset now doesn't allow me to stay stuck in those thoughts. It doesn't allow me to self-sabotage in that sense. You have to remember to surround yourself with people that genuinely love you and support you. And they're gonna tell you the truth. They're not gonna sugarcoat it. They're gonna tell you, girl, I love you, but let's get to work, okay? You can't be sitting in that woe is me mentality. No, you have to realize that you are in control. Cut out that toxic friendship. Cut out that friendship that is draining you and that isn't elevating you or helping you evolve in your journey to where you want to be in the future. Because let me tell you, these people will drag you down, whether they know it or not. These people are energy suckers, emotional vampires, whatever you want to call them. These people feed off of good, positive, uplifting energy, and they will take that from you and give nothing back. So I feel like it's very, very important, especially at this time of my life, at 25 years old, to cut out that toxic friendship, cut out those draining friendships. Distance yourself from the family members that aren't really supportive and that are toxic and draining. I know how hard it can be with family because you love them and you almost feel like you owe it to them for you to stick around through their toxic ways. But I'm here to tell you that that is not self-love. Self-love is having boundaries for yourself, and even if that means distancing yourself from a parent, an aunt, a family member, a sister, a brother that is dragging you down and isn't making you feel good. You don't have to be disrespectful to them, and same goes with friends and these people that you are trying to distance yourself or cut out from your life. You don't have to do it disrespectfully. No one is saying that you have to cut these people off in a disrespectful way. There is very respectful ways to distance yourself from family members or cut out friendships that are just not serving you anymore. That doesn't mean that you may cross paths in the future and maybe they'll be a different person at that time, but now is a time for you to be selfish. And selfish can be healthy and can look healthy too. So I am just here to tell you that it's time, girl, because they're only going to impede in your process to success. Learn to look at your mistakes, or maybe even if they're not necessarily mistakes, look at where you are in life and take it as a lesson. What can I learn from now? What can I learn from my mistakes? What can I learn from the place that I am now? What does God want me to learn? Because as I previously mentioned, where you are in life right now, there's a purpose for it. Where can you improve and where you can apply action, positive action that will propel you to move forward. The way that you see life and the way that you have a viewpoint on everything, be specific in where you are applying your energy. And I feel like a lot of the points that I'm giving, they kind of all tie in together. Are you applying your energy where it will eventually, if not now, eventually it will reap some sort of reward or outcome? Or are you applying your energy in places where it's just being like taken and nothing is flourishing from it? That could be friendships that are not serving you anymore. I have a very big track record of applying my energy so much in friendships that don't serve me. They're not really giving either, and I'm a very big giver. Okay, so I need to surround myself with people that are going to reciprocate that energy back to me to make me feel good and not make me feel drained. It could be you're applying your energy by dwelling in your negative thoughts and how horrible your life is in the moment and poor me. This could also be relationships. Sometimes you have to do the hard things and apply energy into things that you want to grow. Even if you're tired, you know? We dove deep, you guys. We dove deep. We talked about things that are uncomfortable. We talked about things that we may not even want to hear, but sometimes we have to hear the truth, and it can be hard when we admit that to ourselves and come to that realization with ourselves, but that's where growth begins to happen. As long as we are progressing a small percentage a day, that's all that matters, as long as we're moving and we're not staying stagnant. Let me know if there are other topics that you guys would like for me to talk about. I love being a supportive friend, and who knows, maybe I can be that friend that you never had. If you come across my video and you're new, comment down below. Let me know your name. Let me know what your struggles are. Let's talk about it. Let's put it down in the comments. Let's get to know each other. Let's get real and raw. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.